I know we did the intros and got to catch up a little bit, but just wanted to do like an official welcome to the Tech by Choice Town Hall for today.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we updated our branding a little bit since like the last time we chatted. So this
Yes.
is a new slide deck that we have. I think it's really pretty. I like
Yes,
it a lot.
it's awesome. I love it. It's very vibrant.
Yeah. So today we're just going to be talking about, we'll do like a check in with each other, which we already did. We'll go over some announcements and I think the goal with the announcements is just to like get feedback and input from you to see like, is this something you're interested in? Like, do you have any like questions around it and things like that? Same thing with the initiatives. And then we'll have some time for Q&A. I think I flipped this around. Announcements is going to be like updates from like our last town hall, just to show like what we've been working on since the last time we met.
Hmm.
And then initiatives is the part where we will talk about what we're going to work on and try to get some input on that. So good
Sounds
to go
good.
there. Boop boop boop. Um, tech by choice, so I don't have to go over this part of it. And our lovely vision of making sure the people who are building tech are as diverse as the people that are being marketed to. Once we reach that goal, we'll get to forfeit our nonprofit status and go live our best lives because everything is fine.
Love it.
um, I definitely did not delete the right slides out of this deck. I'm sorry. Um, but these are our values. I don't think we talk about them enough, but accountability, transparency, accessibility, education, trust, and being self sufficient. I think a lot of the things that we've been doing, or at least prepping for this year, is really focusing on the transparency and trust and self sufficiency. I know it's come up before. We've been talking about it a little bit with like this Web3 initiative that we're doing about turning into a DAO and having an NFT project and what that means for the community. And so just wanted to tie those changes back into our values a little bit and explain as we go into this like why we're doing this and how it all comes back. So our initiatives. So from the last time we had a town hall, we were talking a little bit about engagement and just being able to find space to like talk to people about maybe just like things going on in the workplace, articles that we come across, and things like that. With Slack, I think the communication is great, like in between work meetings and things like that. But we just don't have that community engagement that we had like before in person meetings. And we thought like doing like weekly office hours would be a way to do it. But I've been hosting them on Twitter, and I was doing it pretty consistently every Monday from like 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to like 5 or 6. But I noticed that I was getting in a couple of faces. I was starting to see some people repeating, coming in, but I wasn't seeing anyone from like the Slack group. Um, so I guess my first question for this bullet point is, I was supposed to go to the next slide. Um, my first question for this bullet point does is tech uh, is Twitter the best space to hold these, or should we be holding them in Slack? And I know it's just one person here, but just wanted to get your input and see what you thought about office hours and what you would want to see from this.
I haven't really been on Twitter Spaces, so I think I'm just a little out of the loop. It seems like it would be a good medium. I just haven't used it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess I'm sort of interested to try it out and really get into it as a community space. I think it's a good idea, but I don't know if if people are fully on board with it yet. Or maybe I'm just the only late bird here.
No, I definitely think there's some maneuvering we could do with this one because I think I tried different times, but again,
Mhm.
I want to engage like the community that's all already here.
Hmm.
Um, I think the idea of it sounds good. Maybe next week I can test it out, but do it in Slack to see if how the turnout is
Hmm.
versus Twitter, and maybe do a mix of both. Like maybe 1 week in Slack and 1 week in Twitter.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and mark that down as like an action item for today's meeting. Um, that is that for office hours. The other thing that we had down to talk about for um, initiatives is marketing. So I don't remember when we came up with this idea, but we always wanted to do a tech is my choice campaign, and we wanted to do that to like have people spotlight members, number one, and two, let people tell their stories through Twitter, and other social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram, and have that be a way to show off who's in our
Ooh.
community and like what it actually looks like to work in tech. So that way, at the end of it, we can have this like really big collage of all of these different people, these different stories that we can then highlight within our community, um, for like, I don't know, a year or something like that. I don't know. Um, and with the whole NFT project that we're working on, we thought it'd be a great idea to have people kind of like engage and use that imagery to like help represent themselves, um, in this campaign. So that way, I know some people don't feel comfortable putting their own image
Hmm.
online. And so I thought that was like a great medium. Um, but
I
yeah,
love
just,
this idea. This
yeah,
sounds really great.
awesome. I
Yeah.
think, oh, I don't have any about pictures of the NFT project. So let me try to log into, or actually not that. I can do this. Just share a different screen. So with the NFT project, a lot of the like Web3 space is held on Discord, like
Okay.
those communities. And
Hmm.
so we have created a Discord just for our NFT project. So we can like build that community out as well. And with that, we drop like status updates of the project inside of Discord. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the Discord screen,
Okay.
um,
Oh, this
and
is
you'll be,
cool.
yeah. Let me try to go to the top because there's a lot of images. Um,
Nice.
but this is just some examples of what the project will look like.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, so it's just images of people of all backgrounds drinking tea. It's really nice, really pretty. Um, and at, what's I gonna say? So I was thinking like in order to make this project work, we
Hmm.
had to like draw individual layers and then we put them on together to make these images. And so we would be able to set it up so people can build like their custom person. And
Ooh.
then like maybe their background says like what they do in tech, or maybe it's just like a message or some type of like um, social media asset that we can put together,
Hmm.
to like tell the story and use like this imagery and use that to like pull everything together. Um, I think for to pull this one off, one of the
Hmm.
cool things that we could do is like come together as a community to create these assets, so that way we're all in agreement with everything. But I thought that would be really cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. Is
Yeah.
it like, what's the process of building them? Is it like do you
Yeah. So
like
I can show you a little bit of that. So the way that I'm doing it to like for this project, it's It's what they call a generative art project. So I take all of the layers
Hmm.
and I um, put them into a folder, and then I have this code that I've written um, that. Sorry, I'm trying to do Zoom and talk, and apparently I can only do one thing at a time. Uh, I have this code that I've written. Oh my god, why don't I Oh, iTerminal. This code, so I'm using this code to like take all the layers and put it together as one image.
Ooh.
Um, and the cool thing with this is we can use that to generate it, but I think since I have all of the layers already
Hmm.
together and I have the code to turn those layers into multiple layers into a single image,
Hmm.
I should be able to um, like throw that up at like with some like UI
Right. Hmm.
and allow people to just like generate that themselves.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because right now, like I would just have to manually do that in something like I don't know, um, in something like Figma or Photoshop to like put everything together.
Hmm.
But but actually, I don't need to show you any of the code unless you want to see it. But I don't know why I went this route. But
I
anyway,
I don't mind. I would love to see the code, but
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, like that's how we could do it. We could set like take a UI and try to like let people generate their images, or
okay.
we can give them the assets and just say like, hey, mix and match what you would want to make your person.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Really cool.
let's see if my computer can take this. Because right now it's a bit frozen. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll let this load and then we can walk through the last parts of this. And then at the end, I could walk you through what the code looks like.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And then I can answer any other questions you have about like the host space and everything.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, future events. Oh, shoot, I don't have the survey link because my other volunteer is not here. They went to the gym. They didn't know if they would make it back in time.
Hmm.
I told them not to worry. But the other thing that we were looking to do is we will send out a survey after this meeting to
Hmm.
just go over different types of events that we want to start planning. I
Okay.
realize it's been a while since I feel like I've put on an actual like planned out event, whether it be sponsored or not, for Tech by Choice. And I usually figure out what events to put on next by just like feedback from the last event. And we
Okay.
don't have that because it's been a while. So I definitely want to make sure that we send out this survey that just asks you a couple of questions of like how we can best support you, what kind of like input you're looking for, any different like gaps that you're finding in your workplace or just like your tech journey. And like through those gaps, we can try to find different ways to put on events or workshops or even maybe a mini boot camp to help people overcome that.
Oh, okay.
So once Hope gets back from the gym, I'll be able to grab that link from him and then send it out to you and the rest of the community.
Okay, sounds good.
But now we got to the best part, Q&A. I don't know why this F is there. I think I was supposed to put something there. I never did, but that's okay because it looks pretty with the fists and the colors, so everything's okay. um, but I'm gonna go ahead and well, before I stop recording, I just want to ask if you had any questions about um, anything that Tech by Choice is putting together, any of the things I talked about, or if you have any suggestions at all.
I guess for me, it's more like the things that I've seen that I've missed, and I'm like, oh, I hope that's happening again so I can join.
Mhm.
Like the I saw that there was a portfolio review recently. So I'm just wondering if that's on the agenda. I know that I know there have been hackathons in the past. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's always, interesting. Um, and, and then I guess for in for reviewing old things or things that I've missed, um, is it going to be on the website? Is it already on the website? Um, where are the gems, all the gems?
Yes, I think these are great questions. So, I'll start with the events that you feel like you might have missed.
Mhm.
So, we sent, I think it was this email you might have saw or like a post in Slack, but
Yes.
we are starting a portfolio reviews, um, the Figma and Chill. So this is like more design centered. So if you want to learn how to use like Figma, and
Nice.
then we will also have product design challenges, our practice. And
Okay.
oh, and Devon Chill. Oh my goodness, we're doing a lot. I always forget all of these. Um, but each of these events will be our monthly or bi-weekly events.
Okay.
So if you missed it this time around, don't worry. We're going to be holding the portfolio reviews will be every first Saturday of the
Okay.
month.
Awesome.
The Figma and Chill, which is really fun. We just like jump into a Figma file. We'll come up with like a theme of the night, and then
Mhm.
we'll make memes around different stuff. The only thing is like this one is like held pretty late, just based off of like who can help support me with this event because it takes a little
Mhm.
bit more um, help with this one.
Right.
Um, so I know this one is not as accessible as most of our events. We're trying to work on that.
Mhm.
But that happens bi-weekly on Wednesdays. Yes, on Wednesdays. Um, for product design, we get to, like, again, hang out in a Figma file,
Okay.
but we would solve problems up in a different way. Um, we would pick different like themes that we want to solve for. I think one example is like if dogs were able to have a support app to like get
Mhm.
help to train their humans on how to train them, what would that look like? So with that, like different like UI restraints based off of accessibility because dogs don't have fingers, they have
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
and then we did another challenge of like, what if we wanted to go to Mars and we wanted to talk to Martians
Mhm.
who didn't speak English? Like, how would we communicate with them? So it was an app that we had to build to execute and solve a problem, but there was a restraint of not using any words.
Wow. This is
So
interesting.
it's all really funny and lighthearted and
Mhm.
not that serious, but the things that we're learning throughout those events are like really cool.
Mhm.
And it's helped me be a better like UX person and product person,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
though I'm a dev.
Right.
And then my favorite thing, because I'm a dev and this is more of my skill set, is Dev and Chill, which we'll do once a month on the fourth Monday of every month, where we just hop into a code sandbox
Okay.
and we kind of do the same thing, pick a theme, start
Mhm.
to build around it. We've had like Tech Bay, which was like really corny, cringy tech pickup lines. That was like a lot of fun to build. Um, and then we've also built something like, oh, what was another one we built that was really funny? Like we built a soundboard of like different memes and like TikTok videos that we like. So like now we have a thing that when we are on Zooms or anything like that, we just hit a button and we get our favorite like audio. But we have built themes where it's just like a mini video game. So it
Ooh.
varies in like uh, how much planning we do with some of these events.
Mhm.
But yes. Test tube babies. Oh, this means Hope is here. Hope, how long have you been here? Did you hear me talking about you? Um, Let me move you to participant or promote to panelist. When you promote to panelists, you should be able to unmute. I have no clue how to change the settings for turning on camera, so I apologize.
Hey.
Hello.
So yes, I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I went through all of those details when I could have just said, yes, we'll do those monthly.
No, I appreciate the details. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then for these sessions, for the first few times we run them, they will not be recorded because we will be figuring out how to properly run them on Zoom. So we want to give ourselves grace, but we will start recording them and we'll post them to our YouTube. We'll try to live stream it on Twitch as well.
Oh,
Um, and so like there, it will be saved in different places so you can see it, play it back. You'll
okay.
also get access to like the Figma file and the code sandbox. So if you ever want to see something that happened in the past, you'll have access to.
Oh, nice. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, the only thing that's not currently there is our Web3 stuff. I recorded it, but I realized it was like a 2 hour recording, and that's not great for YouTube. So I have to like edit and cut up those recordings so that could be out there.
Mhm.
As soon as I do my hair, I will do. We'll record those. But yeah, and if you ever want to see like anything that has happened in our past,
Mhm.
it will be on our website for the most part.
Okay.
Um, you can see the videos here. Actually, it's been a while since we've updated this, I think. So our YouTube channel will be the best bet because that's where everything goes. I haven't automated pushing things from YouTube to our website automatically. Now that I'm thinking about it, that should probably be something I work on. But yeah, check it out
Nice.
there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Well, before I stop recording, do you have any other questions?
Um, no, not that I can think of. I think that was pretty comprehensive. Mm.
Sorry, it was so long. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. Okay.